So I consider old anime to be a hobby of mine, and every once in a while I'll go through Japanese auction sites trying to find something that'll catch my eye. And one day, I come across a vinyl record for an anime that I've never heard of. Now, this in itself isn't really all that out of the ordinary. The strange thing is this. As of this video, it seems to be from an anime that quite literally does not exist. I typed it up online and tried to look it up, and I didn't get a single result. I checked MyAnimeList to see maybe if they have a page for it. No results there. I checked Wikipedia, no results. Internet Movie Database sometimes has anime on it, so I looked it up there. Old archived GeoCities pages, which are still a thing. Usenet posts dating back to the 1980s. Nothing. Whatever this anime is, it is a ghost. We live in a world where you can watch anime on a portable computer phone from anywhere on planet Earth, and in the face of that, this bothers me. The name of the anime? Masked Warrior Lavithunder, which in Japanese is extremely close to Kamen Rider, so anytime that I would look into it, I was just bombarded with Kamen Rider info, and that really did not help things. But I figured, well, you know, it's probably just some rare anime that I've never heard of, so I filed it away in the closet of my mind, and you know, I just kind of forgot about it. A few months pass, and another auction catches my attention, not for the anime, but for another copy of the same record for the same mysterious show. Now, at first, you might question if this is even from an anime. I mean, just because it has anime-style art on it doesn't mean it was actually from a show, right? In all likelihood, it was just some artwork that they slapped on a record to make it look cool. The thing about that is this. It has two names on the front. The name of the single is The Fighter, but then it has another name on the cover saying仮面戦士 Lavithunder. That sounds like a show to me. It was really interesting. You don't normally bump into things that nobody has ever documented or even heard of on the entire internet. So my next train of thought was this. Since I don't know what anime this is, maybe somebody knows what music this is. So I did what I normally do in these situations, and I contacted the foremost anime vinyl record expert on YouTube, Marty McFlys. Now, Marty isn't your typical music specialist, he's kind of like an anime vinyl record archaeologist. To help put this into perspective, he once told me he tracked down a record from an artist that was only distributed at a wedding that numbered in the hundreds, and when I asked him if he thought it was worth it to track it down, yeah, he told me the music was just kind of okay. Another time, he found a CD that was so rare, it wasn't even on the guy's discography. That person? The son of Shotaro Ishinomori, creator of Cyborg 009. I mean, if he doesn't know what this is, then nobody does. So, I asked him, Marty, do you know what this record is? And, he said he had no idea what仮面戦士 Lavithunder was. Not a very good sign when an expert on anime music doesn't know what they're looking at, but one thing we did find out is this. It was sung by Mitsuko Horie. Now that's probably not a name that most people are familiar with, but if this is the person that I think it is, then she was an incredibly important singer on a ton of influential anime. Among her resume is the intro to the 1970s shoujo series Candy Candy, as well as a personal favorite of mine, the legendary combining mecha anime Voltes 5. Again, this whole thing just smells of anime. With zero information about this show outside of the record itself, I broke down what little info that I had. I had the name of the anime, I had the record itself. However, I also had the year that it came out, so I looked up the record on VGMDB, a website that catalogs soundtracks and records, that had this to say.仮面戦士 Lavithunder is an intended anime that was never released. However, this EP, with what would be the theme songs of the anime, both performed by Mitsuko Horie, was able to get a release. Now finally, that's some solid information. However, that just raises further questions. A cancelled anime that nobody's ever heard of, I can kind of understand, but they released 2 songs for it, and there is zero information to back up this claim. At this point, I just decided to brute force my way through this. So, I went through every anime magazine that I could find from 1986, hoping it would pop up somewhere, and unsurprisingly, that didn't work. It did work though, going through every magazine from 1987. Lavithunder is mentioned a single time in the January issue of Out magazine from 1987. Not only that, but they even have screenshots of the anime, so for the first time ever, here is what this mysterious piece of lost media looks like. The first image is the highest resolution, and seems to be a picture of the main character wearing a mask. I'm going to make an assumption and say that this is Lavithunder, even though I don't have any official confirmation, but it would make sense because he is wearing a mask. On to the next screenshot, we have a picture of two of the main characters just looking at each other, and this does tell us that there was more than one character in whatever this anime was. The next image is just a landscape with a sword in the foreground and some trees and clouds in the background. Not much going on in this one, so I'll move on to the last photo. And the final screenshot that we have is just the main character walking towards the screen with a wolf on his side and a sword on his back. And as far as screenshots go, this one seems to be a lower resolution image of the artwork that we already had on the vinyl record, meaning we really only have 2 or 3 screenshots of this anime. But hey, that's better than 0. The article itself is pretty interesting too, because they mention a studio that I've only heard of in passing. A company called Pan Media. With almost no information to their name, Pan Media was a small company that mostly existed as an animation subcontractor on other anime, and was best known for their only show, the TV series adaptation of Frank Baum's Wizard of Oz novel. Pan Media also has no Wikipedia page, by the way, so finding out that they were connected to this was news to me. If you've ever wondered why studios like Doga Kobo have an entire decade gap in their studio history, it's because a lot of these companies, they weren't set up for doing risky TV series and movies. They just kind of helped out with other animation instead of doing their own thing. And it seems like they made The Wizard of Oz and then went bankrupt sometime in 1987. They go on to say that Lavithunder was an anime that was supposed to come out, but even the article has no idea what it really is. They speculate it would have been like The Road Warrior, and say that it aired alongside the anime O Family. Now, I'm not going to bore you with some kind of name drop review for something you've never heard of, but it's probably important to know what O Family is, because that's the show that this aired with, so I'll keep it brief. It's about a family living in America doing general, heartwarming family stuff. It stars a tomboy with blonde hair who's constantly being mistaken for a guy, and her brother with long hair who has the exact opposite problem. One day, a young boy drops by their front door, claiming that he's the illegitimate son of the father, so him and his dog end up joining the family when his mother passes away. It was made by Knack Productions, which is a studio that's mostly known for producing hilariously low-budget 70s anime like Chargeman Ken, but by the 1980s, they had largely gotten their act together. Look, the important thing is this. O Family aired on TV Tokyo from October 6, 1986 to March 30th, 1987. So, what we're looking for is a VHS tape recorded somewhere from 1986 to 1987 on channel TV Tokyo. In addition to that, O Family aired at exactly 7:30 p.m. on a Monday. So in an incredible stroke of luck, that gives us an exact time frame narrowed down to the half hour of when the preview for this mysterious anime aired. Now, I did actually try to track down recordings from that time, but none of them have that exact specific preview. I found commercials for O Family. I even found commercials for the Wizard of Oz anime made by the same company. And also, a TV commercial for the Underwater Nausicaa anime, which I really wish I had a couple of months ago when I did that video. Sadly, after going through every single commercial break from that era that I could get my hands on, I didn't find a single trace of this mysterious Masked Warrior Lavithunder anime. Thinking that I overlooked something, I forwarded the magazine scan to our helpful music expert, and through the wonders of the internet, he had somebody translate it for us. I'm gonna read the exact page from the magazine verbatim, just to be as clear as possible so we know what we're looking for here. Big shout out to Marty again for translating this for us. Absolute legend. Link in the description if you want to check out his music channel. Masked Warrior Lavithunder. I've heard a similar title somewhere before. Highlander, wasn't it? That in itself is probably a coincidence, but the setting also seems strangely familiar. That being said, this work at its current state is not a series nor a movie, but rather a 30-second long pre-production spot so far. Now it is being aired, interrupting every Monday the 7:30 p.m. Oh Family show with its powerful rock theme song The Fighter by Mitsuko Horie. Even though we don't know whether this work will go on to become a TV anime series, an animated movie, or an OVA, let's accept that for now it belongs in the world of 30-second TV commercials and theme songs. Regarding that, the theme song itself is being published by Columbia Records as an LP feature album Lavithunder with an expected release date as soon as in December. Currently, this anime exists as research and speculation. How much was produced? Was this just a commercial, or was there more made behind closed doors? Currently, there's just too much that we don't know. I am of the opinion that you wouldn't make a soundtrack for something that didn't get made, but in the corners of history, there are a few anime that were produced and never really announced publicly. You know, just pitches, things that were shown to investors and never officially put out there into the general public eye. That really got me thinking though. If you didn't know that this had screenshots in a magazine, and I didn't just kind of stumble upon it when I was looking through auction sites, do you think that you could prove that something like this existed? Do you think you could tell if an anime was real at a glance? If you like lost media or just animation in general, take a look at the video that I did about another lost anime that didn't have a single screenshot on the entire internet. Thank you very much for watching this video all the way to the end. Have a wonderful day.